Hi, welcome to the Reds We See, our fan take on our beloved team, Toronto FC. I'm Dan.
And I'm Corey.
This is where you're going to get to watch two guys who are just nothing but pure fans, not pundits, not knowledgeable in the game in any way that is important to anybody but ourselves.
That's it. It's our opinion. You either like it or you don't.
That's it. So we took a week off, Corey, because we figured after that last match, we all deserved a week off, or this show would be full of explicitive language.
Oh, one or two F bombs here or there,
I think it would have been nonstop. I don't know. Let's dive right into it, buddy. Toronto FC versus New York City FC. The first 30 seconds I thought were pretty darn good, but then people started playing. I don't know,
That's,
man. What happened?
I don't know, man. They left their boots in the group stage,
Did they all like meet up in the change room beforehand and just say, you know what? Let's take the day off.
right? Yeah, we made it this far. We're good.
We're
It's
good.
too hot
We got our
outside.
season points. We can go home now.
That's it.
Which, if that's the case, I would not blame them at all.
No, no. They I guess they came and did what they needed to do.
Not that day they didn't.
No, that's true. No, and I think it all comes back to that first game. They needed to set the stage. They let I'm not going to say an easy win go by, but they definitely had the game set. They just needed to see it through, and because they dropped those 2 points in that first game, I think they had to play a little harder, carrying on to the next two in that group stage, and then didn't have the opportunities to rest the players they wanted. They could have got maybe Bradley. Maybe he could have came off in that third game earlier, as opposed to, or maybe not even start. Everybody just kind of didn't quite have it in that group stage.
So let's talk about that then. Let's talk about this last match's lineup. Um, I'm not going to say anything negative against Jaden Nelson. It was nice to see. We're always clamoring that we want to see young Canadian people out there and getting their chance. And he did get his chance. He just got his chance on a really bad day with the rest of the team. But my bigger question is, where the hell is Josie? And why isn't he playing? Why isn't he starting?
Right.
Akinola proved he could do it. Were we going for, well, we got young guys and let's get Jaden to give his shot in the net as well. But we've got our highest paid player sitting on the bench
Hmm.
for multiple games. Is he healthy? Is he game ready? Why isn't he game ready? I know he had to do the quarantine here in Canada, but he still had time after the fact. We're talking 4 games in now. Why isn't Josie starting, even if he can only pull off 60 minutes?
Right. It's a key piece for sure. And nothing against Nelson, like you said, he's a great player. He got his chance. But where's Josie? Where's our core team that needs to play together to get us beyond the MLS's back?
Right? It's a knockout round. I don't know if that's the time to be resting and he plays the last 15 minutes. I mean, 4 games and 30 minutes total, roughly, or whatever he played for Josie there. That for that kind of money, that just doesn't cut it. We're not going to get answers. We're just going to get the normal corporate thing of whatever the BS is or
Hmm.
reality is, because half the time you can't tell if it's real or gamemanship or what it is. I want to know what's going on with our most expensive player who barely plays normally because he's injured, and that sucks. I don't want him injured uh, at all. I want him to be healthy for his own sake, let alone ours. But he was healthy coming into this, and I just can't let that go. Is it time to let him go? I mean, I'll have so many people yelling at me for saying that. But if you're not going to play, we could use that money elsewhere.
Right? We
And I
can we
love him to
could
death. I don't want him to leave, but I need him to play to earn his money.
Yeah, that's it, right? He's right now one of the highest paid per minute players, right?
Oh, if we're
And
going per minute, he is the highest paid. Might be worldwide per minute at that rate. Jeez.
right? So no, it'd definitely be good to see him start a game. They probably could have put him in right at the change of the half there. I mean, the first half, TFC did not have things go their way. Um,
You're being
they
kind. You are being kind, not going their way.
they
You can't
played
you
like
can't be so gentle. I know we've met a few of these guys and they're all nice to us, but they're professionals and they know it. They don't need us saying it as fans.
no,
They know it as well. I can
they
just
got a
imagine a couple of them now coming up to me if they saw me and they wouldn't say anything. They just look at me like, uh, I swear they took the day off, man. I don't
that's it.
know.
We didn't get the memo, but they did.
They got the memo. They were there, right? You know, I know we had talked about this offline. Fatigue, the
Hmm.
heat, early morning. Well, that wasn't an early morning game. That was a night game. But even also the roller coaster of night, morning
Right.
kind of concept. But the other teams are
No
playing with that.
consistency.
But the other teams are playing with those same scenarios. It's like,
That's
oh,
true.
how do you play on this shit
No
field?
excuses.
Well, if you're all playing on that shit field, it's equal.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
It's
I
very
don't
true.
know. I don't know. I'm hoping if the season does resume that was the last we see of that um, lack of
Situation.
anything.
That yes, yeah, that strung together Mickey Mouse tournament,
No pun
right?
intended.
Right? um, but you know what? I guess that's all behind us. Like we said, we got 5 points to put towards the season. So I mean that's a big plus.
It is.
Um,
Yes.
there's no point in kind of sitting around sulking. So let's get this tournament over with so TFC can get back to their matches.
I'm all
Um,
for it. I'm all for it. Put it behind us. We still hopefully if Voyager Cup in any form or whatever they're going to do regarding Voyager's Cup and getting that Canadian spot in the Champions League, that's what
mhm,
we need to look forward to. That and of course, hopefully this continuation of our 2020 MLS season.
mhm.
Word is rumors, word whatever you know how it is on the Twitterverse and stuff like that. Is the three Canadian teams would play each other for 6 matches and then there'd be a phase after that later on in October. Uh, that might be a good thing, considering that the federal government obviously just knocked down Major League Baseball entering the country in and out for the Blue Jays.
Mhm.
But where are
Yep.
we going to play? Since the NHL has kind of took over our home field there, are we going to be up at Downsview Park there with one cameraman on a one TSN guy on camera on his shoulder doing the high school game, or what's going on?
Yeah, just running up and down the sidelines.
Well,
um,
it could be worse. It could be like the MLS is back, and we could have that big logo and the score line on the field because none of us know what's going on otherwise.
right. That's it. You're told how to watch, I guess. um, yeah, it'll be interesting to see. That's for sure. I mean, the NHL did a pretty good job, I think, with their bubbles. They kind of set a stage, created a show. I know that if you're at the rink, you are part of the bubble. So they have their cameramen doing their thing. So I mean, if like you said, I guess if it's all contained in one country, we have pretty much the same structures and bylines across the country as to our own phases and whatnot. Like I guess that's what would happen. We'd have to be up at the training grounds. I mean, it's a pitch. It's a professional pitch itself. So the boys know it well. Um, that would be, I guess, the alternative. Like you said, it's basically dryland training and um, something other to look at than your four walls of a hotel room, right? For the guys in the NHL. They're doing their thing, trying to close out their season, and we're just kind of getting ours up off the ground for the third time.
If it gets off the ground,
Yes.
I'm hopeful, but also I will live if this season is scrapped. I'd much rather every player, every staff member, MLS wide, is healthy, and that's more important than you and I watching some TV and cheering on our boys, Toronto FC, and hoping for the best and getting those W's that we all want and they want.
That's
Uh,
it.
but I bet you their wives, girlfriends, and children would much rather have their dad around. So,
Right.
in the bigger picture, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. And then we just don't have any shows to do, you and I, until that does happen.
We'll take another 4-month break.
There you go. So we're hoping for a season. We're letting go of that MLS is back, especially that last match. We'll
Hmm.
take the 5 points that we walked away from for the 2020 season, and hopefully we'll be back before, I don't know, the end of the month, I guess.
Well, as whenever the tournament's done, and then they give us the green light to start some games again, and I guess hopefully by then, hopefully MLS their brass has been coming up with ways to continue the season, whether it be mini rival tournaments like playing the other two Canadian teams 3 times each. um, they would have to come up with some sort of interplay south of the border. Maybe they have pocket conferences or something of a similar nature. It could actually sprout. It could be good for the league. It could sprout rivalries. It could excite those who weren't usually one to turn on a soccer game.
Yeah.
But this is the time for them to be conversing on something like that, I guess. And it'll be interesting to see what comes out the other side of this tournament.
Well, I guess we'll wait and see. Until then, I guess I won't see you anymore.
You know?
All right. Well, it was nice knowing you, Corey. We'll see you in a
Yeah,
few months when footy's back on the TV and we're watching Toronto FC.
that's it. Hopefully it gets off the ground a little sooner, but it's definitely been nice.
Sounds good. Till then, cheers, my friend.
Cheers, bud.
Come on, you Reds.
Let's go, you Reds.